Hi and welcome to Cheekyricho Cooking's Chicken Kiev Bites made in the PieMaker. Chicken Kiev is generally a fillet of chicken, flattened out, filled with flavoursome garlic butter, rolled in seasoned flour and then egg and breadcrumbs and then fried. You normally have to flatten out the fillet with a meat mallet or something like that to get a nice even size, and it's going to be very difficult to use that medium in the PieMaker, so I'm going to be using chicken mince. It's exactly the same stuff, it's just ground up chicken breast meat, and we're going to roll it into balls around our garlic butter. Now I have some Panko breadcrumbs here because they're normally crumbed, and we're just going to put those Panko breadcrumbs into a bowl and tip some oil on them. The reason that we're doing this is the oil will make the breadcrumbs nice and crispy. Save a little bit because we're going to brush the inside of the PieMaker with that. Give this a little stir around. It's not going to get soggy at all because there's no moisture in either the breadcrumbs or the oil, and that's going to stick very, very well to our sticky meatballs. And when they're cooked in the PieMaker, they'll be crispy and brown, perfectly formed, and when you bite into them, you'll have that juicy, garlicky, herby butter inside. So just put that to one side, and that's that step done. Now we need to make our butter, and we need to make it nice and cold. So we have just some room temperature salted butter, to which we are going to add as many cloves of garlic as you like. I've got 2 large cloves there. We're sprinkling some vegetable salt in there now to give it a nice flavour, because traditionally chicken breast meat particularly doesn't have too much flavour. Some pepper, our parsley, just been washed and roughly chopped, and I've got the top of 1 green spring onion. Good for colour, good for flavour, and I think it's particularly nice in our garlic butter. You could use this garlic butter for garlic bread. You could use it sliced and popped onto a piece of steak after you've cooked it for extra flavouring. And now we're just going to mix this all up and then roll it into a sausage and put it into the freezer and slice that. So I'll just mix this all up first. If your butter is a bit firm, just pop it in the microwave for a few seconds to firm it up. We are going to be freezing it. It'll be a lot easier to manage and mix thoroughly if it's got a very soft consistency. Make sure you use pure butter for this. Don't use any margarine or anything like that, because it's not going to have the same flavour or the same effect in the dish. No need to cream it or anything. We don't need any air in this because the air will expand and burst out of our little chicken Kievs. Okay. That's a pretty good consistency, I think you'll find. Okay, now to prepare our chicken mince, we're just going to tip it into a bowl. Don't want any extra moisture in this, so if there's any juice in the package, don't put that in there. Putting in 1 egg. You could just use the white if you like, but the yolk's not going to make much difference to it. Balance of our veggie salt and the balance of our freshly cracked pepper. Now, there's not too much seasoning in there for the simple reason that all the seasoning is actually going to be coming from inside the dish. All we want to do now is mix this all together, divide it into balls, put it on a tray and just pop it in the fridge. Okay, now mix this really quite well with scrupulously clean hands, and once you think it's mixed, mix it a bit longer, and the reason that is it actually makes the meat stick to itself much more easily. No need to put breadcrumbs or anything in this at all. We just want all those salt and pepper flakes all through our mince. Okay, we just divvy those up into little balls. They're going to be formed later, so don't worry too much about how neat they are, and that way we can pretty well portion it out fairly evenly. You could use an ice cream scoop if you like, but my ice cream scoop's a bit small for this. Okay, I think we might make 8 because we've got a 4-person PieMaker, so we might pinch a little bit off each one and make it into 8. There we go. Okay, that's it. Take our into the fridge to just chill down while our butter freezes. Now we need to roll up our garlic butter into a little sausage and get it quite firm. Best way to do that is to put in some cling film. Now, putting cling film on a bench, then trying to get a liquid or semi-liquid product into it is going to have it slipping everywhere. So, handy hint is just dampen, don't dry this down now, just dampen your bench with a cloth, and your Glad wrap or your cling film, saran wrap, whatever, will naturally stick to it. It's not going anywhere until you are ready to move it, okay? So now we just put our butter out in the sausage, roll it all up and get it into the freezer. Now, if this is too much butter for your application, it will keep in the freezer. I have found that garlic products in the freezer don't tend to keep their flavour too long, so try to use that quite quickly, but it's great on garlic bread. And if you happen to watch our miniature meals recipe on chili and garlic bread, you'll understand how to make that quite simply. Now we just put that out there like so, and then we just want to roll it into a sausage as evenly as we can, and just twist one end off, roll it backwards and forwards, until you get the desired thickness. We're looking for about 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch across the little discs that we're after. Okay, that's nice and tidy now, and that goes into the freezer to chill. Okay, our butter is nice and firm now. It's been in the freezer for about 30 minutes. We're just going to unwrap it and cut 8 little discs out of it. We've got some water there to help us manage our little patties because they are going to want to stick to our hands, as you saw before. So we're just going to cut 8 little round discs off this, wrap the rest up and pop it back into the freezer for another recipe. You only needed about 1 centimeter. Now work quickly here because we don't want this butter to warm up. So we are just going to dampen our hands with a bit of water. Take hold of one of our little patties, flatten it all out. See, it's not sticking to my hands at all because I've put some moisture on it. Pop our little disc in there. Make sure it's completely enclosed and just drop it into our breadcrumbs and continue with the rest. Dampen your hands again so that your patty doesn't stick. We want to have as much chicken covering that butter so that it encompasses it. And because the butter is so very, very cold, once the chicken's cooked, it will hold it into place. You just cut it open and the butter will ooze out. It'll be delicious. Now I'm doing 4 at a time here, obviously, because I have a 4 pie maker and I need to brush it with a bit of oil and make sure all of those crumbs have stuck quite well to it. Brushing our pie maker, which is already preheating, just in those couple of minutes. Top and bottom, of course, because there are elements in the top of it. Now, you never, ever, ever eat raw chicken, but once this is browned all over, it will be cooked right through because the chicken isn't frozen. I'm going to press these crumbs on as firmly as we can and then just drop it straight into our pie maker. And those crumbs are already oiled and it's going to be gorgeous. And we're ready to serve this straight away. Pie makers are great for making perfectly shaped foods for parties. Kids love these, and it's so much easier than making real chicken Kiev. Okay, now just close the lid. We'll turn those over in a little bit. Okay, after 5 minutes, you can start to smell the garlic. We are just going to turn these over very, very carefully because they are browning all over and turning into little gorgeous little balls. Okay. Around the other side now. Yeah, after another couple of minutes, we're just going to give them another little turn now to make sure all the colour is all over and they're thoroughly cooked. They've shrunken away and they're quite spongy. A few minutes more. We've got a gorgeous fresh garden salad here ready for it. And dinner will be ready to serve. Very economical meal. You're going to feed 4 adults with a nice salad on 500 grams of chicken mince, so it doesn't get much cheaper than that. Okay, our gorgeous little Kievs are ready now. We're just going to take them out. You see they're nice and browned all over. Some of the butter has come out, but don't get too excited about that. The flavour's gone right through that chicken and we are ready to roll. And just pop the next ones in. Get those for a little minute before you try and serve those because they are going to be molten hot inside and you don't want your dinner guests to get burnt. And we just press our crumbs onto the other ones and pop them in as well. I think you'd have to agree this is so much easier than the regular Kiev recipe. It's using a pie maker. It's not deep fried and it's incredibly economical. I hope you enjoyed this little cooking demonstration of cheekyricho cooking's Kiev Bites in the pie maker. If you would like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, just check out our cheekyricho channel. And don't forget to please subscribe and do come back and visit us again soon. We have so much more to show you and we're uploading lots of videos. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Let's check out inside our little Kiev, shall we? And look what we have. Simply gorgeous. Beautifully cooked all the way to the center. Those herbs have stayed there. The garlic has oozed out and flavored that chicken. And we'll just have a little taste. Okay, we're just going to have a little taste. Get some of our chicken and our crumbs. Yummo. Crispy outside, I'll show you. The old fork scratch test. Gorgeous. Thanks for watching.